The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Frank, when you think Fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sunkissed Orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Good afternoon and welcome to Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines, the home of the Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Alongside Joanna Settles, I'm Trent Condon. In just a moment, we'll have today's semifinal round matchup between Mount Vernon, the Mustangs, 22-3 on the season, as they face off against Estherville Lincoln Central, the number 1 seed in Class 3A. Right here on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. Well, as we advance on now to the semifinal round, playing for a chance to play for a state championship, you can definitely feel the anticipation, and it grows here throughout the week at Wells Fargo Arena.
It's so exciting. This is the game you want to win to play Friday night for the championship.
No doubt about it, and two teams with their sights set on it. Estherville, quite the performance going back to the quarterfinal round. Haley Stokes going for over 40 points in that one. She has been incredible in the big victory in the first round against Forest City.
Haley Stokes is an absolute phenom. We are blessed today to be able to watch her play. She is outstanding. 44 points. Look at that. 15 from 24. She's going to take a ton of shots. From free throw land, she can make everything. She can rebound. She passes really well. She'll have more than 3 assists today. She sees the court. She is a special player.
Mount Vernon, the Mustangs come in with a win against Harlan. That was a dominating performance. You know, we talk so much those number 4 versus number 5 matchups in the quarterfinal round. Normally so close. Not the case there, just domination against Harlan in the quarters.
It is, and Peyton Simpson had 14 points in that game, but Chloe Meester with a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Standing at 6'3", she takes up a lot of space.
Going to be a fun one. When we come back, we're going to dive deeper in today's matchup in our Seeds for Success, presented by Channel Seeds. Plus, we'll have your starting lineups as we get set for tip-off. You're watching the 2024 Girls State Basketball Tournament, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
This is our son, Sebastian. In 2021, he took half a pill he didn't know was counterfeit.
That tiny pill contained enough fentanyl to kill him almost instantly. Kids buy them on social media and share them with their friends, not realizing how dangerous they are.
Please talk to your kids about not taking anything that's not directly prescribed to them.
Our child will never get to grow up, but we want yours to be able to.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Trent Condon, Joanna Settles back with you courtside at Wells Fargo Arena. This Class 3A semifinal. Winner punches their ticket into the state championship coming up here from Wells Fargo Arena. Let's get into our Seeds for Success presented by Channel Seeds. Start with the visitor on the scoreboard, Mount Vernon and the Mustangs.
Yes, Mount Vernon wants to take care of the basketball. It's been a little frustrating for them this year because they've had quite a few turnovers. But when you take big risks, that happens sometimes because they push the tempo and they work hard. They also need to take great shots. Being smart with their decision making on their end of the court is key for their win. For Estherville, Lincoln Central, they need to have confidence in shooting the basketball. They have one of the best shooters in the state. They'll put up a lot of points today. They also need to play great team defense and rebound the basketball.
33% from behind the arc this year for Haley Stokes. The rest of the starting lineup, though, nobody even hit a third of their shots from downtown as a team. 30.1% from behind the arc for Estherville, Lincoln Central. Today's Seeds for Success were brought to you by Channel. The enhanced Channel seed brand is here to help farmers like you up your game and rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com/rise. We continue here in the pregame show as we get you ready for the opening tap. We'll take our final time out here before tip-off. When we come back, we'll have your team introductions and starting lineups for this tournament matchup. You're watching Girls State Basketball presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Mount Vernon, Estherville, Lincoln Central facing off here in the Class 3A semifinal round. Winner will play for a state championship coming up here at Wells Fargo Arena. Well, we talked a little bit, Joanne, about Haley Stokes and her performance in the quarterfinals. On the other side, Mount Vernon, they also put not just holding Harlan to 25 points, they scored 67 themselves. They got speed, but they also got a whole lot of size inside, including Chloe Meester at 6'2".
They do. They love to put a lot of pressure on other teams, look for them to play a 2-3 zone and mix things up from there. They've held 14 of their opponents below 30% shooting this season, so they want to disrupt other people's offense.
On the season, they average 12.2 steals per game and definitely going to get out. Same thing for Estherville. 15 steals per contest this season for them, including Haley Stokes. I mean, have you ever seen a player that averages nearly 6 steals per game?
She's special. Haley Stokes, I called her game when she was a freshman, and you wouldn't believe she was a freshman, so I can't wait to watch her today. There's a reason that Estherville Lincoln Central is in their 3rd straight trip to Wells Fargo. She averages her 24 points. They've won the conference for the last 3 years in a row. She's headed to Minnesota State. She is one of the top players from the very north part of Iowa.
And now let's go down to our public address announcer as we get ready for the introductions of today's matchup.
Welcome to today's 2024 Girls State Basketball Class 3A semifinal matchup featuring the Mount Vernon Mustangs and the Estherville Lincoln Central Midgets. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to enjoy the game. Fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's semifinal matchup. First, the non-starters and assistant coaches for the Mount Vernon Mustangs. Number 3, Olivia Truitt. Number 4, Lillian Wishmeyer. Number 5, Erin Jackson. Number 14, Lucy Wishmeyer. Number 21, Sophia Meester. Number 22, Josie Niehaus. Number 24, Brinley Rasmussen. Number 35, Riley Rasmussen. Your assistant coaches for the Mustangs, Ben Kanake, Lori Moss, Jason Pershing, and Susan Orvis. Now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for ELC. Number 3, Kara Schultz. Number 12, Morgan Claybaugh. Number 21, Lexi Juergens. Number 32, Zoe DeRuyter. Number 33, Jalissa Smith. And number 40, Evelyn Nath. The assistant coaches for ELC, Mitch Crine and Scott Stokes. And now let's meet the starters for both teams. For the Mustangs at guard, a 5'8" sophomore, number 10, Courtney Frank. For ELC at guard, a 5'5" senior, number 5, Tatum Dunleavy. For the Mustangs at guard, a 5'4" sophomore, number 11, Taylor Frank. For ELC at guard, a 5'9" junior, number 20, Riley Yeager. For the Mustangs at center, a 6'2" junior, number 20, Chloe Meester. For ELC at guard, a 5'4" senior, number 22, JC Anderson. For the Mustangs, at guard, a 6-foot junior, number 23, Sydney Huber. For ELC, at guard, a 5-foot 6-inch junior, number 23, Haley Stokes. For the Mustangs, at guard, a 5-foot 6-inch senior, number 25, Peyton Simpson. And for ELC, at forward, a 5-foot 8-inch junior, number 34, Hillary Rushy. The head coach for Mount Vernon is Nate Sanderson, and the head coach for Estherville Lincoln Central is Don Martindale. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the area in front of the scorer's table for the introduction of our officials for this afternoon's game, as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Jeff Horst, Mark Gassman, Bob Squires, and the bench official, Dan Dearland. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for state tournament.
Before we begin today's game, we'd like to once again thank Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in every county across Iowa. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for supporting the IGHSAU and the Iowa Girl. Ready to go, Mount Vernon and Estherville Lincoln Central. Should be a fun afternoon of hoops.
It should, and you can already see the height difference. Not even a jump by the midgets.
As Estherville lets it go there, Meester, her dad, former NFL player Brad Meester, and wins the opening tap for Mount Vernon. As they take it to the left side of your screen, they look inside for Meester. Double team, triple team comes around the perimeter. There's a drive attempt into the paint is Frank. Cut off, flips it to Simpson. 17-footer off the mark, rebounded by ELC.
Good ball movement and patience for a good shot. Came up a little short.
First possession now for the number 1 seed, 23-2 on the season. As they look to the top of the key, inside passing, good precision, up with the left hand, and the finish in the paint was Yeager.
Great pass by Rushy.
And then a steal on the other end. Stokes gets it near midcourt, looks for Yeager again inside. She's bumped, flips it outside. Into the left corner with Dunleavy. Cross court for Anderson. Anderson, one dribble. Jumper from 15, back iron, long rebound into the hands of Frank.
And those longer jump shots are exactly what the Mustangs want the midgets to take today.
With possession, it's Courtney Frank, her and Taylor Frank in the backcourt for Mount Vernon. Meester from the high post looks to the right side, and Taylor Frank up with the left hand, can't get the roll. Secured by the midgets.
Good dribble drive. These Mount Vernon names, you hear a lot of them because there are 4 sets of sisters among these 13 members of this year's varsity team.
On the right side, it's Rushy, the junior. Rushy gets it back on the right wing, working against his own, leads to an open 3, back rimming no good. Long rebound into the hands of Stokes. Stokes inside, ball kicked, and it's gonna stay. I'll check that, it'll go over to Mount Vernon.
Yeager wasn't expecting that ball, and if Stokes has the ball in her hand, you better have your hands up because she passes quickly, and you better be ready because she's going to give you the ball.
Stokes averaging on the season 6.5 assists per contest. As Frank pushes it into the front court. Nobody picked her up as she got there. Had it swatted from behind. ELC on the push the other way, trying to build on a 2-0 lead. 2 minutes gone by. Drive through, Stokes throws it up off the left side of the rim, no good, and rebounded by Simpson.
A slow start here for both teams. Mount Vernon getting to the lane but not converting.
Frank drives through, left that one short. Up for the rebound is Rushy. Stokes sets up the offense. Working against this 1-3-1 look that Mount Vernon, or is it flattening it out to a 2-3?
It's a 2-3 with some double team, especially on Stokes.
As she steps back away from the zone, tries that one, but off the mark.
You're going to have to go over that screen.
Yeah.
You can't go under it on Stokes with her range.
Just over 5 minutes left, still 2-0 lead for Estherville Lincoln Central in this semifinal. A little nerves early on. Driving baseline. There's the shot attempt, that one off the mark from Huber. Quickly ahead on the run out. Oh, great pass, and the layup drops in. Meester, check that. That was Yeager into the game with a bucket. And what a great feed from, three-quarter court.
Three-quarter court. She's a quarterback. That's how you score quickly in transition.
Hoop in the harm on the other end. Frank gets the first score of the day for Mount Vernon. Needed that one there, and a good tough take off the bounce and finishing through contact.
There's Courtney Frank. Off the dribble drive, putting it up nicely for the and one here.
Frank on the season, a 64% free throw shooter and a chance at the three-point play. Cold shooting early on, 17%. And a missed free throw for Mount Vernon. 17% for Mount Vernon, 33% for ELC.
Yeah, Mount Vernon is not crashing their boards offensively. They have such a size advantage, but Estherville Lincoln Central has gotten every rebound so far.
Ball tip from behind, it'll stay with ELC. They work with 23 on the shot clock. It will be Stokes that'll trigger it in. Gets it to the right wing and Anderson. Anderson cross court to Rushy. Rushy one dribble, back across again. Good penetration against the zone around the perimeter. Rushy from the top.
See Stokes being face guarded there.
She'll try a deep three-pointer. Good. Logo 3, our first of the afternoon from Stokes.
Caitlin Clark isn't in the house, but the effect that she's had on our nation and especially here in Iowa is seen in that beautiful stroke by Haley Stokes.
7-2 lead for ELC inside. Here's Meester, turnaround jumper, left it short, rebounded after a battle inside. That was Yeager. Stokes brings it across to the left side, Rushy. Back for Stokes. See that defense extend out further now on her. Anderson goes cross court, finds the open shooter out there. That is Schultz. Just into the game, and then a reach and a foul on top of it. Kara Schultz into the game, the 5'3" junior, had a good look at it. As we get a timeout, a substitution. Substitutions brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
Haley Stokes can read the ball so well. You see they face guard. She's the stealer on this face guarded zone. Moved into man here, full court pressure.
Frank beats the pressure across. And she pounds the dribble up front to the right side, and Simpson. Simpson one dribble, had it deflected. Able to chase it down near the sideline. Another near steal there from ELC. Hand back reset with Taylor Frank. Looks to the corner, a little bit low, out of bounds. Simpson wasn't able to corral the low pass, the turnover, and it goes back to Estherville Lincoln Central.
That's a tough pass to handle when it's at your ankles.
Talked about it at the top, Estherville Lincoln Central this year is averaging 15.4 steals per game, and the forced turnover number incredible.
They're pressuring, defense. Yeah, they pressure the whole length of the court.
Stokes again from the corner this time. Had the deep three, couldn't go any deeper than that as she was back in the corner. Another triple, and it's an 8-point lead. Inside, stolen away. Schultz gets the steal for the Midgets. The run out, the run ahead, the left-handed layup off the mark from Yeager. Great pass, just couldn't get the footing down and finish the layup. To the corner, and Frank, she'll try the triple, ring it up. Taylor Frank from three, her 21st of the season.
And the Mustangs are hoping that will get their team fired up to continue to score points, but they always have to know where Stokes is defensively. They can't lose her.
Estherville Lincoln Central's lead at 5, 10-5, inside of 2 minutes, and the throw wide out of bounds. Fun first turnover there, and a substitution in for Mount Vernon. Back into the game, Tatum Dunleavy will come back in. 10-5 with a minute 50 to play. More pressure being applied by ELC. A crossover, Frank brings it across. Goes to Taylor Frank, the drive, can't get the layup to go. Another run out, look ahead to Schultz. She's bumped, Drops it through the paint, blocked from behind. Good swat there from Huber. Back again, another opportunity and a foul. It'll be 2 free throws for Riley Yeager.
And Rasmussen's in for Meester, playing some good defense, but gets caught out of position on this play.
6-foot senior. And reached across, got the foul. The first free throw drops in for Yeager. 60.7% from the free throw line this year. And one more coming her way.
Yes, and Yeager, the leading rebounder at 9 per outing for Riley Yeager.
Knocks home a pair of free throws, a 7-point lead for ELC, 12-5. As we tick inside of 1:15 left in the first quarter. Frank controls the dribble, hands back into the game. Is Jackson to the left side, and Frank yo-yos the dribble, picks up the dribble, now looking for some help. Not much space out there against this midget defense. Cross into the corner, huck it up a 3 off the front rim, off the mark from Jackson. And another rebound.
Great defense right there. There were 3 seconds, so they had to fire, putting a lot of pressure on the Mustang offense.
12-5 the score. Estherville, Lincoln Central. 15-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. A travel, though, on the pass attempt as Anderson gets called for steps.
They set a screen to get Stokes open in the corner, but the guard took an extra step for the turnover.
Shot clock turned off with 30.7 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Mount Vernon can try to hold for one final shot. Frank out, running the point, Courtney Frank. Looks for a back cut from Jackson, not there. Looking inside, ball deflected, but a foul. Get it inside to Brynlee Rasmussen, 6-foot senior. Leading scorer off the bench this year with over 4 points per contest.
When the ball goes into the post, they're doubling that every time. Meester returns to action here for the last 13 seconds of the quarter.
Third team foul whistled against Estherville Lincoln Central. And ball fumbled out of bounds, out of the hands of Jackson. I mentioned the cold shooting. It is chilly down here on the floor. It's because the ice is still underneath for the hockey rink, and leads to a lot of times you see some cold shooting early on, just teams not quite ready to get warmed up.
I have to give a shout out, though, to Doug Martindale's intense defense.
Defense there at the horn leads to a difficult shot, and that's how the first quarter comes to a close. Estherville Lincoln Central, a 12-5 lead over Mount Vernon. We'll take the time out here. You're watching Girls State Basketball, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
12-5 lead, ELC over Mount Vernon as we go to the second quarter. Level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passions and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply at central.edu. Back ready for live action, and like the coaching staff not real pleased with Haley Stokes on that final possession. She just kind of threw up her hands, said, we only have 5 seconds left. I had to do something.
She had time for another 2 dribbles.
As they go inside out, leads to a 3 from Stokes. In and out, no good. Long rebound, though, secured again by Estherville Lincoln Central, Dunleavy gets the offensive board.
And that's the difference in the game right now. Estherville Lincoln Central has 12 rebounds to only 5 from Mount Vernon. So you know, coach was saying, hey, we have to crash the boards, especially offensively. We're in a zone, but you have to find a man or a person to box out of the zone and win this battle of the boards, especially with their height advantage.
Rushy made the bucket, a steal, inside look by Yeager, but couldn't get it to go. 14-5 ELC. 45 seconds gone by in the second quarter. Frank turns the corner, hits the floater. Courtney Frank with the score.
Yeah, Courtney Frank, a nice hesitation move, relaxed the defense, and turns the corner quickly for an easy 2.
Sophomore with the score there, leads the team. Nearly 5 assists per contest. Rushy again, same spot. This one off the side rim, no good, and rebounded by Meester. Mount Vernon pushes it across with Frank. The game is Niehaus.
Again, they need to be looking inside, crashing this board here for the offensive rebound, and they get one.
Huber can't get it, but the offensive rebound by Simpson had it swatted away. 1-on-3, left-handed layup, drops in by Haley Stokes.
No one is finer than Haley Stokes in transition. Mount Vernon has to hustle back defensively every time because she pushes the tempo like no one else.
Nearly another steal there from Stokes as she gets the deflection. She's got 8 points in the game. Inside out, Meester able to find Niehaus, but she's not able to knock down the three-pointer. 16-7, 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Back to Stokes.
In this zone, they're easily getting the ball to the high post every time.
Good ball movement leads to an open three-pointer and a wedgie. That one gets stuck in for who's trying to jump up there. Got a kick out of Frank. She's smiling.
Meester thought about it. That's an easy one for her.
The wedgie leads to a jump ball. And a substitution as well. Back into the game for Mount Vernon. Taylor Frank will come in. Substitutions are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
These 3 are in zone for the midgets. They face guard the first 2, and then it's man-to-man for the other. As Haley Stokes tries to be the stealer in this full-court press.
Frank able to lose Stokes there. Good recovery, though. Here's Frank for 3, missed everything, left it short, and rebounded by Yeager. Yeager averaging 15.5 points per game and over 9 rebounds per contest. Cross court taken away by Meester. Frank takes a bump and a foul. He'll be the first foul whistled of the second quarter with 5:13 to play. 16-7, the good defense for Estherville Lincoln Central continues.
It does in that first quarter. Mount Vernon was 2 for 10. So not an impressive first quarter. Hoping to crank things up here, led by Courtney Frank.
Across the perimeter, get to the high post. Turn to face, out to the left wing, and Frank. Frank dribbles baseline, flips it around. Leads to an open three-pointer. This one off the back rim from Simpson. Another chance, though, on the offensive rebound. Taylor Frank gets it inside. Meester keeps it high off the window and in.
A great interior pass. She can do that. They need to get the ball inside to her more. She has nice touch around the basket.
16-9, back to a 7-point game. Around 2, Rushy. She'll try another 3, missed everything. Saved, but into the hands of Mount Vernon. They push it across. Mount Vernon trying to cut into the deficit. Reset the offense with Courtney Frank. Look to Meester inside, pass too high though, a turnover from Huber. Gives it right back to ELC.
Good idea, but off the mark.
4:17 to play, a 16-9 game. And we got a timeout on the floor. Full timeout, we'll take it with them. As we continue here in the semifinals in Class 3A, you're watching Girls State Basketball presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Estherville Lincoln Central leading Mount Vernon 16-9 with 4:17 to play in the second quarter. Level up your game at Central College. More than half of Central students participate in intercollegiate athletics because Central allows you to pursue your passions and be more than a spectator. It's the best decision ever. Apply at central.edu. Well, 9 points here as we're about halfway through the second quarter for Mount Vernon. The defense has been there. What do they have to do against this incredible ELC defense?
They need to get some more points in the paint. Every time they get it in, obviously the pass was off on the last possession. Get the ball inside, good ball movement, and somebody step up and score.
Midgets have found some success with that defense and lead to transition points and a couple of deep three-pointers on top of it from Haley Stokes.
Haley Stokes face guarded in the corner, the 2-3 zone or a 2-2 zone.
Down to 7 on the shot clock. They swing it out. Here's a three-pointer. That one front rimming no good. Up high for the rebound for Mount Vernon was Huber.
Yeah, it's a good defensive possession, a one and done for the Midgets.
Huber on the right wing, had it deflected. Stays alive though. She gets it back on the right wing. Goes cross court as they continue to try to find something inside with Meester. Meester gets it in the high post. Inside out, leads to a three. In and out, no good. Offensive rebound though for Frank. Frank threw it away. Stokes with the, check that, that was Yeager with the good hands and getting the steal.
Good things happen for the Mustangs when they get the ball inside to Meester, whether they kick it back out, but they need to continue to get the ball in her hands in the paint.
Anderson looks to Rushy, back to Anderson on the right wing. There's a jumper from 15 feet, rattles home from Rushy. She's got a soft touch there from about 15 feet.
Yes, they're going to have to extend a little bit and get a hand up in her face as they play a 4-on-4 game and face guard and try to take Stokes out of this competition.
Frank sets up the point for the Mustangs, trailing by 9, 18-9, with 2.5 to play.
Look for Meester to work hard and post up.
They get it to Meester. Help comes over, but across the arm with the foul. That is Kara Schultz into the game.
Which is why when you're 6'3" and the 5'3" girl knocks out of your hands, you keep the ball high. You don't need to dribble. Drop step, turn around, and put one up and in.
Always easier said than done, though, isn't it?
It is, it is. You don't need to dribble. Keep it high.
Sound like Coach Jensen for Iowa, and there is Meester. One dribble and gets her to the rim and the easy finish in the paint.
Yes, she's here representing, recruiting these awesome Iowa girls.
18-11, cross-court pass inside, reverse layup. Oh, the English! How about that? Riley Yeager finding the right spin to get that one home.
Great angle on the reverse.
Just over 2 minutes left in the second quarter. ELC leading 20-11. As they hand it back to Huber. For a two-girl game with her and Frank. Frank turns the corner, takes contact, throws it up, no, but a foul, and she'll get 2 free throws. Not a whole lot of free throw shooting in this one, but it'll be 2 opportunities for Courtney Frank. 64% at the foul line this year.
Mount Vernon has lost 3 games this year, but you can't talk about Mount Vernon and the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament without talking about the WAMAC Conference. Phenomenal. The 3 losses that they've had are to number 1 in 4A Clear Creek Amana, number 1 in 1A Northland, and number 3 in 3A Solon. So some outstanding basketball and volleyball coming out of the WAMAC.
And it makes it a 20-12 game, excuse me, as we play inside of 2 minutes left here in the second quarter for the free throw. Rushy's going to try another 3, knocked that one in. She was ready, found it in the shooting pocket, and splashes it home.
The Mustangs are trying to take Stokes out, which means somebody has to step up for Estherville.
Another turnover to Schultz. Stokes end-to-end with the left hand and the finish.
That's a classic Stokes move.
Running game getting going as Frank brings it across. All the way through. Frank scoops it up. No good. Rushy rebounds.
You can feel how that pressure of Estherville Lincoln Central rushes the offense of the Mustangs.
Haley Stokes with the dribble. Rushy on the left wing. To Anderson. Good catch.
It's a 1-3 zone right now.
Those junk defenses we hear so much about. There's Schultz, a wide open three. Just off the front rim, no good, and rebounded by Hubert.
Yes, that's what Mount Vernon wants right there. A one and done, another one and done possession on defense.
Courtney Frank working against Schultz. Screen and roll. Look back. Now she'll try the three-pointer. That one well short. And the rebound to Stokes. Stokes pushes it across. Next to Schultz on the left side. Now Rushy. And here the coaching staff asking for one final shot here. Coach Martindale. Back to J.C. Anderson, the senior. One of two seniors on the squad. Ball deflected, still loose, and out of bounds with 3.4 seconds left. That'll let ELC set up an inbound play, but from a tough spot to inbound.
It is. It's going to be a quick one dribble and up.
Dunleavy will come back into the game for Schultz.
Their great passer, Stokes, will take it out because she sees the court so well. Look for her to get it right back even on a pass, shoot.
There's the movement, the hand back, the flip to the right side. Three! Rattled it in at the buzzer. Beautifully designed play there. The attention went to Stokes. She knew Anderson would be there. She was ready on the right wing and knocks down the three.
Yes, the pass, shoot, and here it is. A great pass. 22 from deep for three at the buzzer. Lots of momentum going into halftime.
An 8-0 run to end the first half for ELC as they built their lead to 16, 28-12. Coming up here at the half, we will get you up to date on the first half numbers in the Soup Cup numbers of the game. We'll do that for you. And a big thank you to all of our great sponsors. Quick timeout here at the half. 28-12 lead for Estherville Lincoln Central over Mount Vernon in the Class 3A semifinals. You're watching Girls State Basketball presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Slade's the place for you!
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Tricon and Gianna Saddles back with you courtside here, Wells Fargo Arena. Estherville Lincoln Central leading Mount Vernon 28-12 as the Carol Kemper dance team is out on the floor with a little Corey Hart sunglasses at night, going back to my day, and entertaining the crowd here. Well, it's been an entertaining first half in Estherville. Lincoln Central really opened things up. That defensive intensity built throughout the course of the second quarter and led to that 8-0 run right at the end of the first half.
That gave them a lot of fire. They're excited. But Mount Vernon, they've changed things defensively to try to slow down the superstar guard in Haley Stokes. So they're face guarding her and playing a zone with the rest of their team, of course, with a lot of size underneath with Meester. But offensively, Mount Vernon needs someone to step up and want to score. They need to put some points on the board.
Simpson's been a good three-point shooter this year, 43%. You mentioned trying to get the ball into Meester, and she's not only get it into her, but we've seen a couple of times they got those post feeds. The defense collapses. That inside-out game definitely can work there. Got to have everybody ready to shoot the basketball. Maybe a path to get back into this one here at the half. We'll dig a little bit deeper into the first half numbers in a moment, but right now we'd like to take a moment to once again thank our title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau, for their support of the state basketball tournament. Earlier this week, the IGHSAU had the opportunity to speak with Iowa Farm Bureau President Brent Johnson to learn more about Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and student athletes across the state.
Thanks for joining us for the 2024 Girls State Basketball Tournament. I'm Matt Hominoff with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We want to thank all of our partners for all the great support we get from around the state. None more important than our proud title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau. With me today is the president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, Brent Johnson. Thanks for joining us, Brent. Yep. Why does the Iowa Farm Bureau feel so strongly about supporting the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and our tournament games?
Well, Matt, the Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor for the Girls Union now for 19 years. And once again, very proud to be a part of this year's state girls basketball tournament. And, this tournament highlights the work ethic, teamwork, resilience, and dedication that these girls have contributed for a year's worth of dedication to their craft. And just like that same spirit, the Iowa farmers are the best in what they do across this entire country, not only in production, but also in conservation. And you put all that together, and there's a lot here to celebrate.
Yeah. Your support for the IGHSAU goes beyond youth and education. What other support does the Iowa Farm Bureau provide Iowa's youth?
Yeah. Well, Matt, here at Farm Bureau, we believe that today's youth is tomorrow's leaders, and we're proud to support them in many different ways. One of those is by our scholarship program. Every single year, we give nearly $500,000 across the entire state to those kids so that they can continue their education at a higher level. We've also partnered with the Girls Union and the Boys Association now for several years to offer concussion insurance for those student athletes who compete in sanctioned sports across the entire state so that they can do so at a high level and feel safe doing so. And that is at no cost to that student or their families. Third, we've given teachers across the state nearly $500,000 so that they can properly equip their classrooms to do their jobs better. And most recently, just last year, the Iowa Farm Bureau gave the Iowa FFA Foundation $1 million so that they can properly place ag teachers and ensure that students across the state have an exposure to agriculture and how it affects their lives every day.
Yeah, so the students participating in this year's tournament are taking home some pretty neat souvenirs. But one new item that they're taking home are the championship ball caps. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. The girls who are competing at this year's tournament are actually taking home quite a bit of swag this year. Of course, we have the bag tags and the signature basketballs that the girls have been used to seeing over the years. But this year, we've added a championship ball cap so that those girls who actually win the tournament have an extra souvenir to remember that if they put their minds to it, they can accomplish anything.
Well, thanks again, Brent, for both your and everyone at Iowa Farm Bureau's support of the Iowa Girl over the years.
In Iowa, we grow corn. A lot of corn. Corn is what supports us. It feeds our livestock, it fuels our vehicles, and powers our state. It nourishes our families. A cash crop? Yeah, but it's way more than that. Corn sustains us. It's who we are. Without it, we'd just be Well, you get the picture. In Iowa, we grow corn. But the truth is, corn grows Iowa.
The thing I love about Clark is that you're never just one thing. I'm not just a student. I'm a future doctor. I'm an athlete on a history-making team. I'm a community member supporting the causes I care about. I'm a friend, a neighbor, a leader. At Clark, you can become anything. What will you be? Be you at CU.
Fans' official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Time to get your smartphones out. Just scan the QR code on your screen now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. Trent Kahn and Joanna Settles back with you here at Wells Fargo Arena as we are courtside at the half. And Joanna, a fun performance, a fun game, but Mount Vernon now, a lot of talk in the locker room. How do you get back in this now down 16?
Well, Estherville Lincoln Central is doing a great job of wearing down their front court, but they have to continue to attack the rim, get the ball in the paint, and find a way to score.
On the other side, Estherville Lincoln Central, a win away from getting back to the state championship game. They were there 2 years ago, upset a year ago as the number 1 seed in the quarterfinals. Certainly looking the part. Still, there's always things you talk about in the locker room. What do the midget coaching staff talk to their team about?
They have to figure out a way to score in the 4-on-4 game against the zone if they continue to score from the open three and from the free throw line, because Mount Vernon is trying to take Haley Stokes away in the corner and face guard her, and once she gives up the ball, they don't want her to get it back.
Taking a look inside the numbers, Estherville Lincoln Central leading 28-12 in the first half over Mount Vernon. In our Souk Up stats, what jumps off the page when you take a look at the stat sheet?
Rebounding, number 1. Estherville Lincoln Central, not the height advantage, but they are out rebounding Mount Vernon. Yeah, it's a 17-13 differential, only +4, but Mount Vernon needs to even that up or go ahead. And also Mount Vernon has shot 8 3-pointers in this game and only made 1. Get your eyes up, get that arch, and put one in, ladies.
5 field goals made in the first half from Mount Vernon, 2 assists against 8 turnovers. And we were commenting a little bit earlier, too. It feels like those 8 turnovers, maybe double that at this point. It's that pressure that ELC just brings on you, and it's relentless. It starts on one end of the floor, but it doesn't pick up. You see a lot of teams that like to go full court, and then they drop into kind of a soft zone. That's not what ELC does defensively.
Yeah, there's nothing soft about the midgets. They have scored 7 points off of turnover, so they really do turn that defense into offense.
Leading the way in scoring in the first half for ELC, no surprise. 10 points from Haley Stokes, 8 points out of Riley Yeager. On the other side, for Mount Vernon, they were led in the first half with Courtney Frank with 5, 4 from Chloe Meester, and Taylor Frank with 3. We'll take our final time out here of the halftime show, come back and start the second half of action. Mount Vernon and ELC in this Class 3A semifinal. You're watching Girls State Basketball presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Back with you courtside, Wells Fargo Arena. Joanna Settles, Trent Condon, glad to have you aboard with us here this afternoon. Final instruction on each side. A few of the players for ELC getting their final shots up. Now, did you like to see that last one before he went back to the huddle go down to the bottom of the net? You were fine with whatever. If your last shot went in, because I was one of those goofy people. My last shot had to go in before I went back to the huddle.
Oh, yeah, so you're still out there shooting.
Exactly. I was that guy.
Hey, end on a make, whatever it takes.
And if it was a layup, then maybe it'd take a couple of times, but we would get there eventually, and I was always that guy. You probably didn't care. I mean, now, I had to get that last one in because it was going to probably be quite a bit of bench time before I was going to come back in there.
Whatever it takes to bring momentum into the second half, and that's what the Mustangs have to find. Who's going to step up? What are they going to do? They have a great plan defensively, but what will they do offensively to get some points on the board? They've got to get to 15 and 20 points and make this a game.
Starting fives back on the floor for both sides for Estherville, Lincoln Central. Dunleavy, Yeager, Anderson, Stokes, and Rushy. For Mount Vernon, Frank, Meester, Huber, and Simpson. Flip ends of the floor, and Estherville Lincoln Central gets the ball first. Alternating possession arrow pointing their way. Jumper on its way too strong, and rebounded by Mount Vernon. They push ahead, looking to push the pace. Frank, cross court to Huber. 4-3, ring it up.
It's so awesome as a coach when your team comes out in the second half of exactly what you chalked up, and it works.
Rushy will try the jumper. That one off the back iron, rattling around. Saved, but a foot on the line. So back-to-back stops here for Mount Vernon. That's another thing you talk about, getting stops, stacking stops on top of stops.
Yes, all three possessions perfect so far for Mount Vernon.
Pressure being applied by ELC. Able to get the ball in, and they'll hand it to Frank. Fake the handoff, and now brings it across the timeline. Huber. A two-lady game. Moved into the corner, taken away. The steal by Yeager. Yeager 1-on-2. Decides to pull it back out, threw it away, though, right into the hands of Taylor Frank.
Taylor Frank decides to slow things down.
It's out to the right side. Simpson for Taylor. Around the perimeter. Tipped into the hands of Courtney. Frank. Shot off the window, no good. Rebounded by ELC. Great look ahead again to Yeager with the left hand, the finish. What a feed by Stokes, and a great left hand from Yeager.
They can face guard her, but they can't stop her in transition from making great passes.
First bucket of the second half for Estherville Lincoln Central. 30-15 they lead with 6:25 left in the third quarter. Frank looks to the high post, ball deflected into the hands of Huber. She'll try another three. That one left short. Hit the first one, bit of a heat check there, a little bit deeper than the first one was.
The midgets get their hands on almost everything. They're deflecting passes. They're making it tough for this Mount Vernon squad.
Into the high post, Anderson looks inside for Yeager, and the finish. Yeager's got all 4 second half points and a 32-15 lead.
Good things happen when you can get the ball to the high post.
Frank and Frank play handoff. Courtney to Taylor. Screen and roll with Meester. Frank turns the corner, goes up with the left hand, in and out, no good. Unlucky on that one. Had a good look at it. Here is Stokes, had a tip from behind, goes into the hands though of Yeager again. What a second half for Riley Yeager, 6 straight.
Does Stokes get an assist for that? It flew out of her hand. She did take a dribble, so I don't think so, but a great accidental pass.
5:15 left, timeout on the floor. Nate Sanderson wants to talk it over with his Mustangs. With 5:16 to play, we will keep it right here. 30-second timeout. We mentioned the first 3 possessions went perfectly for Mount Vernon. You get a stop, a 3, another stop, and then since then it is just ELC. They've had an answer every time.
Yeah, they bury teams fast, and they're good. Let's talk about Mount Vernon's coach, Nate Sanderson. He's played in a lot of great games and big games. He's been at Mount Vernon since just for a couple years here. He was at Linn-Mar, and then at Springville when he was there, they were state champions in 2016 and 2017 at the 1A level.
Making the state tournament for the first time since 2016 is Mount Vernon. Last time they won a conference championship back in 2013. 2011, the last time that they had a 20-win season. 22-3 this season, trailing against the top seed and the #1 team, Estherville Lincoln Central. Trying to turn the tide here in the corner, leads to an open three. Off the back iron, no, but there is Meester with the step back, and using that height to her advantage.
Yeah, it's a great offensive rebound and using the glass.
Inside of 5 minutes left in the third, 34-17. Rushy to the right side, a three for Anderson. That one no good. Hit out of bounds, last touch by Schiltz. As Kara Schiltz come back in, the junior. And more full court pressure being applied from ELC.
Yes, Estherville Lincoln Central making every dribble a challenge for Mount Vernon. And how about Hillary Rushy, number 34, posting up a big height difference. She's done a great job on Chloe Meester thus far.
Flip into the corner, ball deflected, still loose, and we're going to get a foul. As they're going to get Peyton Simpson on that one, the senior. But just the deflections. I have a feeling, I don't know, haven't talked to the coaching staff for ELC, they seem like one of those teams that definitely charts deflections and see, even if you get a finger on the ball, you get a little plus, get a little star by your name.
Yes, I know Nate Sanderson's team does that. That's part of it. Steals, but it's deflections, because you could deflect it, and then your teammate gets the steal.
There's a three-pointer, that one well short.
But they jump passing lanes so well. Taking care of the basketball is tough against the midgets.
There's Meester, turnaround, Jay, that is pretty. Need more of that from Meester.
Yes, I'd love to see next 10 times down. Just get it to Meester and see what happens, because good things do happen when the ball is in her hands.
6'3" frame. Look into the high post, deflected back, but into the hands of Rushy. Rushy to the left side. Here's Haley Stokes, quiet in the second half. It's been a lot of Yeager. Yeager walked with it. Had the pass, shuffled the feet, and turns it back over to Mount Vernon with 3:46 left in the third.
Yes, Haley Stokes got to the lane pretty easily. She's so quick, but Chloe Meester disrupts the offense with her size inside and is part of the reason they had a turnover.
Taylor Frank, we've seen her a little bit more in the second half, running the point against that pressure defense. Gets it over to Courtney. The two sophomores. Over to the right side is Huber. Huber with the turnaround jumper off the front rim, rebounded by Stokes. Stokes to the left wing for Rushy, around the perimeter to Anderson. High post, Rushy, she likes that spot and knocks it in.
She does. They're trying to take away Stokes and somebody has to step up, but my goodness, ELC's Rushy, a nice day of shooting for her.
3 minutes left, third quarter. Courtney Frank to Taylor Frank. She tricky dribbles up front. Now with the drive, scoop shot no, but a foul as they'll get Kara Schiltz on the reach. That'll be the third foul whistled against Schiltz. And 2 free throws coming for Taylor Frank. Frank just a 52% free throw shooter. Pretty good shooter from the outside. That's the first one short. Substitutions coming into the game, including back in the game, Tatum Dunleavy for ELC. Substitutions brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Second free throw finds the bottom of the net for Taylor Frank. 36-20 Mount Vernon. 2:45 to play, trying to maybe get this back to single digits.
They are. They have to keep chipping away.
Rushy in the high post. Drops it out to Anderson, around to the left side. That's Dunleavy. Can't find the mark. And the rebound secured by Huber. Frank hesitates with the dribble. Into the post. Turnaround jumper off the glass. A bit too strong from Meester.
A great interior pass.
But a steal back. Here is the shot from Frank. No good. Another rebound by Yeager.
They miss Meester's size inside for those offensive boards.
Stokes pulls up at the free throw line, flips it back to Anderson. Anderson between the circles. to the right side, and Stokes. High post Rushy.
Coach Martinson making sure they're running exactly what he wants them to do. Another offensive board. Those have been big for them.
There's Yeager against a quadruple team. Gets out of the pack. Anderson thought about the deep three, now drives. The runner too strong, but another offensive rebound. And the stick in by Dunleavy. Dunleavy averages just 1.9 points per game. She's got 2 here in the semifinals. Inside look, deflection again, and another steal.
Mount Vernon with only 20 points. You have to understand how good this Estherville Lincoln Central defense is.
Reaching of fouls. They're going to get Taylor Frank on the bump.
Yes, Mount Vernon usually scores 59.5 points a game. So they are well off their mark because of this outstanding defense. That's 5th in the state in Class 3A, scoring 59 points. So they know how to put up points. Just it's so difficult today against ELC.
Pressure continues as ELC leads it now by 18, 38-20. Open things up late in the second quarter. As Rushy has it from the top of the key, they go to the right side, and Anderson. Ball deflected, but into the hands to Rushy. Rushy with the left hand, no, but a foul. And it's going to be 2 free throws coming for Hillary Rushy. 76% free throw shooter as a team. How about an ELC? 72.6%. Outstanding from the free throw line.
Sometimes everything goes right for Hillary Rushy today. Outstanding defensively. Everything's going right. She's got her jumper going. She's driving to the basket, drawing fouls. Here she is using the left hand, going up against the 6-footer, and comes away to draw the foul.
One more free throw coming her way, up to double figures now. The 3rd different player for the Midgets in double figures, and 2 for 2 there. She's got 11.
Yeah, great follow through. A lot of arch on that ball, giving it a high percentage chance to go in.
Taylor Frank takes the inbound, brings it into the front court for Mount Vernon, searching for some answers here. Getting doubled up now by ELC. Frank will try the 3. That one can't find it. Stick back, though, is there. Good putback by Simpson for the bucket. Shot clock is off. Final 30 seconds of the 3rd quarter. ELC leading 40-22.
ELC's in no hurry to score. Time is what they want to go slowly here. Just tick away slowly.
Anderson hands back to Stokes. Screen and roll. Offensive foul. Saw Dunleavy there. Kind of just moved that hip out a little bit further. A lot of times those late game, late shot clock situations when you see that call from the officials.
Yes, well, you're going to have a ball screen a lot of times to free up your scorer.
So now 11 seconds left, and Mount Vernon trying to push it forward, get a good shot to end the quarter. Frank gets it to Taylor Frank, pump fake. The runner at the horn, off the mark, as Stokes rebounds. And that's how the 3rd quarter comes to a close here at Wells Fargo Arena. Estherville Lincoln Central 40, Mount Vernon 22. You're watching Girls State Basketball presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Frank, when you think fairway, you think fresh. Is that the winning culture you've tried to create?
Penelope Pineapple, what an unbelievable produce performance. How does your team stay so fresh?
Sun-kissed orange. Is it true Fairway has offered the freshest produce in town since 1938?
What can we say? Our produce is so fresh, we're speechless.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena. The Iowa Bankers Association is the proud sponsor of the Parade of Champions and the Iowa Student Achievement Award. Trent Condon, Joanna Settles back with you at Wells Fargo Arena as we start the fourth quarter. A 40-22 lead for ELC over Mount Vernon. Still time with 8 minutes to play, but you got to play almost perfect now at this point against this ELC defense.
We do just smart passes. There's the triple team, kicks out nicely from the interior.
Offensive rebound though, and a new opportunity with Frank getting the board.
They've already deflected the ball twice. ELC hasn't gotten a steal, but their hands everywhere.
And that's a double dribble. She was trying to flip it back there, was Frank to Huber.
Yes, it was okay to hold it, but she couldn't dribble again.
She had picked up her dribble as she was trying to flip it back. And ELC, another forced turnover there.
Yes, as we look at the numbers for the first 3 quarters, Estherville Lincoln Central won the first quarter 12-5, then 16-7, and even won this last quarter, even though it slowed down, 12-10, to have their lead 40-22 going into this final quarter.
Turnover on the other end. Yeager maybe asking for a foul down there. And full court pressure again from ELC. They beat Forest City in the opening round 61-47. Lead it here by 18.
Mount Vernon only shooting 26.5% on the game, only 16.5%, 2 for 12 from 3. This defense is stifling.
Really another steal comes into the hands of Simpson, but can't get the layup to go. Stokes pushes it forward to Anderson. High post rushing. Schiltz, now Stokes. Stokes with the runner, throws it up with the right hand, no good. And we're gonna get a, looks like jump ball. Alternating possession arrow is gonna stay on this end. 6:35 to play. Scoreless in the fourth quarter on each side. Rushy will take the inbound and fire up the three-pointer, no good. Out of bounds, and it'll go to Mount Vernon. That's almost one where you want to tell Simpson, just go grab the basketball so they can't set up their defense.
Exactly.
Be a little more aggressive, maybe be able to push the pace down by 18. Simpson gets it in the front court on the right wing. A good pass inside. Got it swatted, but it'll be 2 free throws coming for Brynlee Rasmussen. Brynlee, unfortunately, has the task of working with one of my best friends and the groomsmen at my wedding in her spring and summer job. So, Brynlee, we're definitely keeping an eye on you, and hopefully you keep Sean under wraps there as the first free throw finds the mark. Good looking stroke there from the senior. And one more free throw coming her way. Mount Vernon gets the first score of the fourth quarter. And 2 for 2. And she says, OMG, as she comes to the other end. She was just shooting 35% from the free throw line. You looked at that stroke in those 2 free throws. Nobody'd believe you. 40-24. ELC content run a little bit of clock here, working with the big lead as we go inside of 6 minutes left.
Yes, Mount Vernon's Taylor Frank trying to take the ball and keep the ball out of Haley Stokes' hands.
Pressure against Schiltz. She crosses over a dribble. Oh, good pass to Yeager inside. Can't get the layup to go, though. Gets it back and reset the shot clock.
Those offensive rebounds are big.
Schiltz fouled on her way. I believe it'll be on the pass attempt. It is. As they got Courtney Frank with the foul. Frank picks up her first, and the first team foul whistle against Mount Vernon in the fourth quarter. Inbounds to Yeager. Yeager will go to the right side, gets it back.
Here's just 1-3 zone by the Mustangs. Little movement covering the ball at all times. Only a handoff can get it to Stokes because of the face guard.
Down to 20 on the shot clock. Stokes, a little battle and get it, and we're going to bump it a foul against Taylor Frank. Boy, that's such a difficult assignment there, guarding somebody like Stokes, and Taylor was saying, yeah, there's contact both ways.
There is. She's doing a great job. It's a tough person to defend.
Second team foul against Frank, and we have a timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout as we stay here. ELC leading 40-24. Now there's 5:14 left, but you're Mount Vernon. You know what ELC's doing. They're taking the air out of the ball. They're going to eat a whole lot of time. They're doing the face guarding against Stokes right now. Would it make more sense instead of doing that just to go and start doubling all over the place and try to get the ball out of everybody's hands that way, or is it just too scary with what Stokes can do?
Stokes is too good. I like the face guard. Junk defense is what you do because it's your only hope against somebody at that caliber of athlete. So look for them to continue to do that. And Taylor Frank's doing everything she can. Besides the handoff, she's keeping the ball out of Stokes.
Stokes comes in averaging 24 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 5.5 steals per contest.
You always hope as a coach to take the leading scorer out of the game, not let them get their total, their average, and hopefully someone else doesn't step up to beat you, and that isn't the case, although it's a great strategy to try to use.
Stokes with 10 points here. Teammates have been there, and the defense has as well. Stokes has it from the top of the key with 15 on the shot clock. Picks up her dribble, goes to the right side, Rushy. Looks to the high post. Yeager turns the corner. Got caught underneath the backboard, and it's rebounded by Simpson. Courtney Frank with the dribble. Picks it up, goes to the right side. It's Taylor Frank. She dribbles through with the left hand. No, stick back. Not there either from Rasmussen. Rebounded by ELC.
Yeah, Brindley Rasmussen with a great offensive board there. Needed to collect herself, take a power dribble, and go back up strong to get two.
4:15 left, fourth quarter. Drive by, blocked by Frank. We're going to get 2 free throws. Courtney with a smile on her face, had a clean swat, but the body contact underneath is where the foul came. She comes over and explains to the official, she's leaned into me. What do you want me to do?
It's not a lot to do to stop Haley Stokes. They have a lot of fun in practice. I know Coach Martin Dale said they don't run in practice. They never run in practice. Yeah. They're full court pressing all the time. They're just playing basketball and having a blast. But they do that practice every minute of their practice, bringing that intensity, trying to deflect passes, jumping passes, playing great defense from end to end.
2 for 2 at the free throw line for Stokes, so she's got a dozen. And it's an 18-point lead for ELC, 42-24 as we approach the halfway mark of the fourth quarter.
Meester's back in, being fronted on the post by Rushy.
Outstanding volleyball player, will be playing collegiately at Louisville, one of the top programs in the country. Up with the left hand off the glass and in for Courtney Frank. 42-26. Yeager gets it across with a couple of seconds to spare. There is Stokes again, trying to step through, chucks it up, can't get the roll. Meester with the rebound.
That's such a great sidestep move to create space.
The corner, Simpson for 3, good! Little mini run here for Mount Vernon. They got it within 13, not going away.
Threes in transition are so fun, a great pass.
And a turnover, steal by Huber. Huber looking for help. To Taylor Frank, the drive, can't get the finish. Pushing it the other side to Anderson. Anderson drops back to Stokes. Stokes being guarded closely by Frank. Looks inside, there's Schultz, no, and the rebound to Meester. Taylor Frank on the right wing. Picks up her dribble, goes cross court, deep 3. That one no good. And the rebound inside by Yeager.
A good box out by the midgets.
Timeout on the floor, and Doug Martindale wants to talk it over with his squad. 42-29 with 2:28 to play. Does Mount Vernon got one more run in them. We'll come back and find out. You're watching Girls State Basketball presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to you once again to Wells Fargo Arena. Trent Conn and Joanna Settles back with you. Had an opportunity to talk to Jess as he was making his way down here on the floor a little bit earlier. Talked some Iowa hoops with him. Know he's enjoying the action. And really a family affair. It's so fun to be here at Wells Fargo Arena. Walking around, you see so many familiar faces year after year.
Yes, the governor was here watching, supporting the Iowa girl, which is great to see.
As we're back to live action, Mount Vernon trying to get back into it. Cut what was a one-time 20-point deficit down to 13 now with 2:20 to play.
Yes.
10-second call, didn't get it across in time.
Mount Vernon will continue to fight all the way through this 2 minute and 18 seconds. They're down 13 points. That's 4 3-pointers, and you're in a 1-point game battle. So you keep fighting. That was a great possession defensively for them. What can they do on the offensive end?
Huber with the pull-up jumper, that one off the mark. Meester with the stick back as she is fouled. And she'll go to the free throw line for 2. Chloe Meester, 6'2", and gets the offensive rebound. Kept the ball high there, too.
Yes, she did.
Just what you were looking for
she
earlier.
She heard us. Yes. Let's talk about this Mount Vernon girls basketball program. In 2020 and 2021, they went 1-20, only one win. And then Coach Sanderson entered the program. They went 12-11, just over 500 in year one, 16-8 last year, and now this year they are 22-3 playing in Wells Fargo Arena. That's an impressive, dramatic improvement in the program for the Mustangs.
1 out of 2 at the free throw line for Meester. Cuts the lead to a dozen now for ELC with 2 minutes to play. Defense staying up on that weave. Turning the corner is Rushy. Fakes one way, comes back the other. Fakes a third time. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Mount Vernon. Quickly ahead. Here is a three-pointer. That one too strong from Taylor Frank. And a bump out of bounds. As they're going to get the foul against Mount Vernon. And another rebound down there for Yeager. Be interested to see what her final numbers are.
Really good defense by the Mustangs there, trying to score in transition, scoring quickly as the clock is not on their side.
Simpson will get a breather for Mount Vernon. Before that, a 30-second timeout. 42-30, Mount Vernon still hanging around here. The next foul from Mount Vernon will put ELC in the bonus and will lead to 2 free throws. 5 fouls in a quarter, a rule change this season. A year ago it was the move to the shot clock, something that's a welcome change, and I think most everybody agrees also the 5-foul rule. Going away from the 1-and-1 maybe takes a little bit of the strategy in the game situations if you haven't fouled and putting a team out there on the line for a 1-and-1, but overall definitely I think it's helped the pacing of the game as well.
It has. When you have somebody like Haley Stokes, they push the ball so much it's not really an issue for them, but you want to use it to your advantage now and milk that clock and use all 35 seconds.
A double-double for Riley Yeager, 14 points, 12 rebounds. And a night for her standards has been pretty quiet from Haley Stokes offensively, outside of a couple of three-pointers in the first quarter. Yeager has been a huge help.
Yes, and that's a great defensive strategy they have. They just had other players from ELC that stepped up because they wanted to take Stokes out of the game as much as they could.
Yeager to Anderson. Back to Yeager. Yeager through the paint. Swinging around the perimeter. Continue to eat clock here with 15. Don't want to foul now with 11 on the shot clock. Back to Stokes. Her runner can't get it to go. And Meester with the rebound. 65 seconds left. Courtney Frank through the paint and across the arm will be the call. Well, the ELC side thought they got a clean steal by Schultz. Not the case. Just the third team foul, though, against ELC.
Okay, keep taking the ball to the hole. Courtney Frank doing a nice job. A little wraparound here at half court and attacking the rim.
Simpson comes back in for Niehaus. A substitution brought to you by IMT Insurance with a 1:01 left to play. The inbound to Frank. Pump fakes her way up. Hoop in the arm. Not the new three-point play, the old school three-point play. A chance here for Courtney Frank.
Gotta love that she was patient. She took her time, waited for the defender to leap on this leap day, and she went right up and into her.
Josie Niehaus will come back into the game, the senior for Mount Vernon. Frank now a 64% foul shooter. Toe the line, trying to get into double figures. Rattles out, no good. Rebounded by Anderson. 42-32. Cross court to Rushy.
That's a left-handed cross court, half court throw right there. I want to point that out, just how good Haley Stokes is.
Down to 15 on the shot clock, 38 on the game clock, looking for Stokes again. She is double teamed or reaching a fouls. They're going to get Taylor Frank. But Taylor, the sophomore, she, I think, learned a lot in this experience defensively. She had the assignment of face guarding Haley Stokes really throughout the course of the game, and she's done it incredibly well.
You always feel good when you gave it your all, and that's what this Mount Vernon squad has done. This is an exceptional team. They scored 28 points, ELC did, in the first half, and another 12 in the third quarter. They've held them to 3 here in the fourth quarter, but it looks to be enough to get them to the final round.
Winner will play in the championship coming up Friday night, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock tip-off for that one here from the Well. Both free throws knocked home by Stokes, 44-32, final 30 seconds. The drive through the lane, off the glass and in with the left hand by Sydney Huber. The junior with the bucket, timeout for Coach Sanderson. 44-34, 23.2, full timeout. We'll take the break. You're watching Girls State Basketball presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Trent Conant, Joanna Settles, figuring out the final 23.2 seconds here. ELC leading Mount Vernon 44-34. Just one timeout remaining for Mount Vernon. But they're going to keep the pressure going, and you got to love the fight of this squad. A squad that returns a lot of talent, certainly next season.
They do. Only 2 seniors on their roster and 1 starter in Peyton Simpson. And they have accomplished a great goal today of not letting Haley Stokes score her 25 points a game. She only has 14, but it's Riley Yeager who also has scored 14 above her 9-point average, and Hillary Rushy, who averages only 4 points and has had 11 today.
Foul quickly on the inbound, as it will be back to the free throw line again. Haley Stokes, that's just who obviously ELC wants to see at the free throw line. An 80% free throw shooter this season. Nearly jinxed her, but it rolls through. One more free throw coming for Stokes. Even the announcer jinx can't get Haley Stokes, right? And wholesale changes coming in for ELC. New names out there. Number 33, Jalissa Smith. Number 32, that's Zoe DeRuther. Free throw off the mark. Quickly ahead, here comes Frank. Courtney to Taylor for 3. Just everything. 10 seconds to go. 3-pointer from Jackson. That one is good. Timeout, Mount Vernon.
Aaron Jackson That's her 26-3 of the season.
Jackson played a little bit in the first half. She'll be a big part of next season's squad as well. Her senior campaign, 45-37 out of timeouts, 5.4 seconds, remaining here. Fortunately, there's nothing you can do, but that one final huddle over there for Coach Sanderson, and I'm sure he's got a message for the team.
He does. It's a good push to the finish. They put up quite a few points a little too late here. They've had 15 points in the fourth quarter, but not enough to overcome Estherville Lincoln Central.
Doug Martindale with his final instruction to his squad over in the ELC timeout, as they will look to punch their ticket to the state championship game for the second time in 3 seasons, as they await the winner of the next game here at Wells Fargo Arena. It'll be Des Moines Christian, 24-1 on the season against Solon, 22-3, and that's coming up here. Estimated tip time at about 3:15 from Wells Fargo Arena. Again, the championship game tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. You can catch the game on IPTV. 5.4 seconds remaining.
Try to get one more steal and a quick shot if you can, if you're the Mustangs.
Trapped in the corner. Able to beat the pressure, and that will do it. There's the final horn. Estherville Lincoln Central moves on to the state championship game as they dispatch Mount Vernon 45-37. Great season for Mount Vernon. ELC, though, after being upset in the quarterfinals a year ago, you could see a very determined game, and now they will get the opportunity to play for a championship.
They will. An outstanding performance. Just end-to-end pressure, relentless defense, making it difficult to put points on the board. Mount Vernon, 22-3. Courtney Frank and her sister Taylor Frank doing a great job on both ends, trying to do what they can. Courtney coming up with 9 points, Chloe Meester with 9 as well. No one even in double digits for the Mustangs.
Double-double on the other side out of Riley Yeager. That was absolutely incredible. We'll send it over to the PA for the awards presentation.
We'll receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gene Berger and Gary Ross. Congratulations to head coach Nate Sanderson and the Mustangs from Mount Vernon on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Hillary Rushy will advance her team to the next round on the official bracket at center court.
Back with you courtside one final time here in this semifinal round in Class 3A, a championship appearance now for Estherville Lincoln Central for the second time in 3 years as they beat Mount Vernon. Good physical, hard-nosed game here. Mount Vernon, a lot to be happy about as you look at that squad making the run here to the semifinals. Their first appearance in 8 seasons at the state tournament. Fun day, but it belonged to Estherville Lincoln Central.
It sure did. Haley Stokes leading the midgets. She had 15 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. All of that while being face guarded nearly the entire game. It was Riley Yeager who came up with 14 big points and 12 rebounds for her double-double. And Hillary Rushy playing great defense, 11 points, 6 rebounds, and they play again tomorrow.
8 o'clock for the title for Estherville Lincoln Central as they await the winner of the next semifinal matchup. On behalf of my color analysts here, Joanna Settles, our producer, Justin Wolber, and all of us here in Des Moines, I'm Trent Condon. Thank you for watching our live coverage of the 2024 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.